They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself. Yeah, why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water no bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. I had to boss. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate.
Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage smoking off social media. I'm definitely killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, starting another cannabis session. Welcome to another Burn Live show. I'm happy people coming in. Shout out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram. What's up? And Rumble is definitely now in the house. I appreciate that we can go live on these platforms and spread the love. You know, I'm growing so far as my platforms and where I'm able to share out and stuff like that. I do appreciate it. Today's show is we're going to be discussing when it's time for you to hang up the boots, when you've been in the game too long, when people are starting to call for your termination, when it's just looking like it's just time for you to say it's over. Okay. A lot of y'all is not gonna admit that. A lot of basketball players go through not wanting to admit that it's over, not wanting to sit down when it's time to sit down. You know, retirement is not nothing easy. And so in this presidential election, which a lot of people have expressed their feelings of how they feel, sadly, happy, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Both sides have expressed their feelings a lot. And excuse me, we're gonna be going over some interviews, some things that we heard. Also be going over the Candace Owens interview with Don Lynn. I think that was interesting. I really, really do. Also, I just ran across an article or a video. Andre 3000, LeBron James, Sexy Red, Jerry Lopez, which I don't know who that is. They are going to sit down and have some talk. So we're going to go over that. Couple of little points in that. I didn't get to watch it all, but I do want to watch it and discuss it with you. Also discussing some things that I did here. I've been discussing with my cousin on social media. I'm discussing with you, especially with the Alzheimer's and things that's going on. Elon made strategy donations to Trump 2024. Ooh, the untold story about a Senior Hall late night legacy. Now, for y'all that don't know who Arsenio Hall, let me say his name correctly. This guy was a legend in late night shows. You and Arsenio Hall changes what you did not stay up late unless you was watching him. This is probably the only excuse as a kid to stay up late to watch this guy's show. I'm just kind of curious.
How scary is that for Paramount? Oh, God. Arsenio also transforms what it sounds like.
Not a lot of people would give NWA a chance to say or express any of their songs.
F the Police.
Yeah. Where you gonna see Kid and Play? Where you gonna see Salt and Pepper? Where you gonna see MC Hammer? Where you gonna see Bobby Brown?
While unconventional bookings lift Arsenio to late-night stardom,
Those people over there are people we usually give names to. That's all.
one controversial guest
It was like someone had farted in the room.
helps bring it all crashing down.
Curious. Now, like I said, Arsenio Hall was a show that I grew up and watched a lot. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. It's a show that I grew up and watching. I tuned in a lot to. I watched. I appreciated the hard things, the good shows, the good dancing. Probably when I was a kid, I was more into the dancing and stuff like that. I cannot lie to myself. But before we get into this, I keep forgetting the last, get your blunts, get your dabs, get your bongs, get your pipes, whatever it takes to get into it, get comfortable, get your little, where's it at? Get your phone stand for y'all that got your phone stand. Get it comfortable, put it on the charger, and let's really get into this show. Arsenio Hall, childhood memory, was kind of popping before Oprah, sort of. Basically, Oprah was daytime and he was nighttime, so that's kind of how you look at it and how you took it. I don't care if you liked it or not. That's how you took it. So we're gonna go over this and see. I want to see the downfall. I'm gonna get a little into it where it's saying a little bit about him. I think I'm gonna start it right here. Let's go.
Arsenio flips the script by inviting young and upcoming talent instead.
You have a very positive image, and I hear you live with your grandmother. Is that the reason?
I live with my grandmother in St. Albans, Queens, and I'm still the same person, still chilling, you know what I'm saying?
Fox, they realized how much the crowd engaged with him, how much he brought a new flavor and a new energy to late night and an entirely new audience. 25% of their viewers were African American, so they have to cater to that.
So when Arsenio's temporary hosting deal ends, Fox executives offer him a midnight talk show of his own. But Hall passes. Instead, he signs on to play multiple characters in his close friend Eddie Murphy's new movie, Coming to America.
Sugar Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
Oh, come on, man.
Everybody remember that. If you ain't watched Arsenio Hall,
We got a point.
Coming to America, then I can honestly say
After
that you
Hall's
don't know
big
who
screen
Arsenio Hall is.
success, Fox approaches him again, this time offering more money and a better time slot. But Arsenio wants even more. Not just a paycheck to host a show, but a piece of the action and a seat at the table. Fox turns him down. It's a decision they will soon regret. Dark Side of the 90s is back for more. More exclusive eyewitness confessions.
Working on SNL is survival of the fittest. Wax at 2 o'clock.
Throughout the 80s and into the 90s, late night TV remains hugely profitable, while also being mostly cut off from the most profound changes happening in American culture.
It's time to get real, grow up,
Black people, we didn't watch late night. I mean, we did because it was on, but it wasn't for us. I'm Naima Cochran. I'm a music and culture journalist. And in the 90s, I was consuming all the music and all the television and all the movies, which is why now I can talk about them. You have this generation of kids where all we do is watch videos all day long. That's it. The rise of hip hop, the rise of Generation X, and the rise of MTV. We want to see these acts. We want to see what they look like. We want to see who they are.
Only one spot is showing performances by young hip talent.
Yo, we get ready to an hour of new videos right here on MTV.
That is until Arsenio, who grew up wanting to be Johnny Carson, gets an offer he can't refuse. A chance to host and executive produce his own talk show.
Arsenio had a plan, and part of that plan was to put himself into syndication and to give himself that EP power so he has control over the show's direction.
Paramount Television also has a plan to grab some late-night cash by getting Arsenio to host a syndicated talk show. Unlike network programs, syndicated shows are sold to individual stations across the country. Paramount even offers Arsenio the same level of creative control that Carson was able to acquire at the end of his career.
TV? Yeah. Johnny Carson paved the way on what power looks like on late night TV.
By the time he retires in 1992, Carson controls every aspect of his program, from who gets hired to his on-camera image.
He chose the interviewees, and if he wasn't okay with someone that they were suggested, they wouldn't be on the show. Arsenio Hall was to have a similar control.
Along with creative control, Arsenio will share in the show's profits, just like Oprah Winfrey does on her show.
When I went to Paramount, they said, "So what are you thinking about?" And I said, "I want an Oprah deal."
I see. This is what I'm saying. So they was both out around the same time. One just did night show, one did day show. As you heard that girl, you really didn't watch late night show. So when Arsenio Hall came out, it was what you would call important. This was because he had some very important interviews. If you wanted to know what was going on in the hip hop world, because you wasn't able to get Jet Magazine like that, because a lot of people don't know what Jet Magazine is unless you're older. you didn't know. But yet again, this is what we were looking forward to when it came to his show.
That's a good deal. For him to have a syndicated talk show in his early 30s as a black man, the only black man on late night television, massive. It was massive.
On January 3rd, 1989, the Arsenio Hall Show debuts.
And now, Rick up.
What up?
What's good, Brody?
Chilly chill.
Chilly chill.
I think this was a nice way to start off the show. Learning about Arsenio Hall. I don't think too many people understand the importance of Arsenio Hall and what he did and what he brought to the forefront.
Okay. Yeah, I know Arsenio.
Yeah, you probably know a little, but the hard work and dedication, like you said, he was the only black person in late night show back in the early 90s. He did just as important interviews as Oprah, except he did more with the industry of the black community. I will say that more than Oprah. Oprah did keep it way more mainstream. You know what I'm saying? She kept it nice. She kept it presentable, which you can't knock Oprah for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Money, talk, bullshit, walk. But yeah, you can say when you stood up late to watch Arsenio Hall, if you were the one, it because either it was your favorite artist or it was somebody important that he was planning to interview that you really wanted to see.
Party begin. It's Arsenio.
The second, Burton Richards.
Dog, dude was mean.
That haircut,
huh?
That haircut, though. What was that?
The box?
The box.
That was normal.
The box cut.
That was normal. That was clean. That was corporate.
That was clean?
That was clean. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, dog. Look, I mean, we can make fun of it all day, but you know what I'm saying? The box was for those who had hair. You couldn't all just keep rocking the fade. Some people had hair and wanted to show it off. And man, you talking about pick, done, clean.
That was kind of after the afro. They kind of boxed the fro up, huh?
The box cutting afros
afro was round. That motherfucker kind of more square. They kind of upgraded the afro.
But it was still there though. I
It's
just can't say it was not
there.
that.
It's there. It's for sure there. It's a boxed afro. Look at him. Okay.
Cause look how dog it got cleaner, got taller.
Yeah, it's greasy.
See the curl. Look at the crowd. Oh, hands down, my brother right here.
Oh yeah, he got one too.
He got one too. He got the box with the split with the cut. He got the box too. He got the even all over. Yeah, it was very, very
to the right.
normal.
He got the box too.
Yeah, I point. Look, one
on the bottom.
2, 3, 4,
right there.
5. If you want to call that yeah. I had it too. Can't even lie.
From Television City in Hollywood.
It's a crowded battlefield as the very next week, CBS launches its own bid for those late night talk show ad dollars, starring the hugely popular host of Wheel of Fortune.
No, the big money was on Pat Sajak.
Now, what kind of guy was that?
Nobody knew nothing
Pat
about
is a
him.
lovely guy. He had a lovely show, but it was a pale imitation of Johnny.
If it looks like I'm just killing time, I have a reason here. In less than 1 minute, we will officially become CBS's longest-running show this season.
Well, we weren't a pale imitation of Johnny by any stretch.
Arsenio, he said it a million times, I just want to show people a good time. You're 16 years old and you're seeing Bobby Brown videos when he broke away from New Edition. And then the first Friday night, Bobby Brown is performing My Prerogative and the camera's up in his face. And the music of the show.
I like how he's presenting it. I'm like how he's telling it, because that's how it looked and that's how it was more presented to me. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, because I was a real kid. And like I said, when Arsenio came out, this was my reason. This was my excuse to stay up late besides Soul Train on the weekends, which you can automatically. But during the week, you need a good reason. Hey, man, I want to watch the Arsenio hard.
Was the music of the time.
I can do what I want to do.
The way it was shot, that was part of the show. That was introducing people to a new culture.
The box cut and stuffing your boxes with socks.
A younger culture, a culture that's starting to become the hip hop culture, and a generation of people who are more accepting than the generation that came before him.
I mean, look at that first week of Arsenio. That tells you everything. There was Bobby Brown, Luther Vandross, Brooke Shields, Quincy Jones, Judd Nelson was in there. Robert Downey Jr. was in there. Look at the mix there. Younger than what you were getting at Carson with Buddy Hackett, Phyllis.
That's cool. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get to the juice of what interview crushed him.
What interview? I think they said when he interviewed Louis Farrakhan type shit, right?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it. I'm curious, what interview really took y'all down this rabbit hole?
Meanwhile, we're just toiling away. Publicists were like, you know what? Nobody knows what's going on over there. Do Arsenio, do Arsenio, do Arsenio. He's getting numbers. It's fun. He's attracting a different demo. Who knows what's going to happen over here?
What's happening is an increasingly contentious battle for The Tonight Show.
You going to be staying out here long? Or
I'm leaving tonight. I got to drop the audition tape off over at CBS, and then I'm going.
Throughout the 1980s, Letterman's late night show directly follows Carson on NBC.
And it was assumed that when Johnny stepped down, that Letterman would have that spot. And then the whole face of late night changed.
And now, Jay Leno.
May 25th, 1992 marks the beginning of Jay Leno's run as host of The Tonight Show.
We still don't know where the candidates stand on the issues. I mean, all we know for sure is that Ross Perot hasn't said anything, Bush hasn't done anything, and Clinton hasn't inhaled anything. That's all.
Like much of Hollywood, Arsenio is unhappy with the decision. He doesn't think Leno has earned the job and speaks out publicly.
Arsenio gave an interview, and on the cover, it says, I'm going to whip Jay Leno's ass. a mistake. You know,
They
they had
had
been
beef.
friends. They had come up the same way at the same time. And I think he felt that Jay was perhaps poaching on his territory.
While Arsenio focuses on battling Leno, David Letterman makes a move that will prove to be a devastating blow to Arsenio's future in late night.
Listen to this. Earlier today, for the first time, NBC named me Employee of the Month.
Wow.
Dave Letterman, in his great angst and anger that he was passed over for the job, goes to CBS.
They wanted a hit show at 11:30, and they got one with Letterman.
The move to CBS means more money for Letterman and less television stations for Arsenio.
With Arsenio being syndicated, some of the people who were picking him up and putting him against the Tonight Show were CBS affiliates. When there's a choice between Letterman, who is a very well-established brand, and Arsenio, they chose Letterman.
Not wanting to be left behind, Fox decides to produce its own late-night program.
Chevy Chase is getting his act together at the new Chevy Chase Theater. Chevy's the man!
To make room for Chevy, Arsenio's syndicated show is pushed to late night.
Damn, look how they did the black
late
man.
night shows who are all vying not for the same audience, but for the same talent.
By then, because of Arsenio, some of these other shows were starting to book hip hop artists and artists of color.
Please welcome Public Enemy.
What's up, New York? We're going to do this for days.
With ratings in free fall, the grind of a nightly show.
Yet again, all them people didn't have to go to them shows either. Y'all didn't have to go do them shows with the so-called white man. Y'all could have stuck with Arsenio. Man, I'm only gonna do a show on Arsenio, man. I started with Arsenio, I'm gonna end with Arsenio.
Begins to wear Arsenio down.
After 3 years, Arsenio was tired. When for the third or fourth time you're going to interview Brooke Shields, I can't blame you if your mind goes on automatic.
Let's talk about.
I think this it right here, Captain.
Yeah, I just sent you something. Check that out too.
I think this is it right here, Captain. Him and Brooke Shields is part of the interview that probably went south. I don't know.
I sent you the
feeling.
clip of him talking about that. The question you asked him.
Huh?
Like, I sent you the interview of Arsenio Hall, and he's talking about that question you asked him. Like, what was his downfall? He talking about it.
Okay, we're gonna see it in a second. Hold on, I'm getting in a sec.
Damn, I lost.
Why we got it?
Don't you
It will be with. It will be with Vlad.
Vlad, yeah, Vlad got all the
Vlad.
interviews.
Would you call Vlad a race hustler? Would you call Vlad a usage of black people's hard work and dedication? Because I seen an interview with Vlad and I couldn't believe what I seen and heard, but that's for a different time, a different subject.
Controversial interviews you ever had was Farrakhan.
Yes.
I mean, people were literally.
That was controversial before he came on. I mean, just the fact that it was booked. I noticed it the day it was announced, and it was kind of interesting in that sense. And my producing partner was a Jewish woman, Marla Kell Brown, who actually is Olympic skater Jason Brown's mom.
Okay.
There's a little bit of information that a hip-hop journalist won't want to know. We were shocked at the attention that it got on the day the booking was announced. But we knew our audience. We knew people were interested in him and the coming Million Man March that I had heard him talk about, which was my big interest. I had seen him do a recital and play violin, and I knew his violin teacher was a white lady. I had a curiosity about the man, and like anybody else, I put him on. I thought my audience would want to hear this man. And that's basically what I did. I mean, I'm not a guy that puts you on and the next day, I am with the Nation of Islam. I am the same guy I was the day before. I bring people here and I talk to them because I think you might be interested in these people. I'm not exactly sure why booking him caused people to deal with me any differently than Barbara Walters or anybody else that interviewed him.
Right.
Even if you think I suck as an interviewer, I have the right to talk also. I didn't like that I was being dealt with different than other people who booked him at the same time, the same month.
Interesting. Because there was always the Hollywood rumor that Arsenio got his show canceled because he had Farrakhan on the show.
Yeah,
You've heard this before.
Yeah, I've heard in the barbershop many times.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I love journalists because they combat the barbershop. And thanks for being here. My resignation letter was long before the Farrakhan booking. That's on record. It went to a man named Kerry McCluggage at Paramount. And I was still trying to do great shows. But the bottom line is, at the time I resigned, I don't think I knew how to spell Farrakhan.
Oh, he said it wasn't because of Farrakhan. He said it wasn't because of Farrakhan's interview, but they did an interview together, and that's why people were saying, but it wasn't because of that.
Because, what did I just say right before you showed me that? I said, I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because of him and that girl.
Mm-hmm.
When you're up there and you're fighting off, what's the proper word? When you're up there and you're fighting off dogs. I'm not gonna say wolves. I'm gonna call them dogs. But when you're up there and you're fighting off dogs and you're trying to compete with everybody for a slot, what you had before they came, you get a little cranky, you get a little attitudes, you know what I'm saying? You may not be going for the strongest interviewers and stuff like that, the strongest people to still compete. I've been doing this for so long. I do got competition. You know what I'm saying? Yet again, my legacy should have kept me in my slot. I feel and I do understand that. But after a while, that competing, that fighting edge, it gets a little messy because you know what I'm saying? You ain't always got the right people around you. 90s back then, you definitely didn't have no guidelines. You had nobody pointing you like, hey, come do this, come do this, come do this. It was definitely, you know what I'm saying, fail by error. You know, if I mess up, I mess up. But yet again, I'm gonna try my best to make the right moves because there are no blueprints for this. I can definitely say that for everybody in the 80s and 70s that came up in whatever industry, comedy, music, television, it was no blueprint of how to do it for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? By the time we got into the 80s, you know, we was making different type of movies. We wasn't making just one specific type of movie. See what I'm saying? And music changed in the 80s. We wasn't just making one type of music. We was making multiple types of music. We wasn't just with the rock. We wasn't just with the classic. We wasn't just with the R&B. You know what I'm saying? That's when the hip hop and the rap, our whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole new genre came in. And then some people, I like to think that it came in the 70s too, because I did hear you can look up old rap back in the 70s. Yes, you know, whatever. Some people may not consider it rap, some people may.
Cool.
But I can honestly say that yes, Arsenio Hall was definitely in my household. Something you seen every night. It was damn near a ritual to watch him.
And pretty much they took him off the episode. By that little clip we watched earlier, it seems like they wanted more white people on the TV. Was that it? They kind of stole his swag. They start doing what he was doing.
Not necessarily that. It's just they got greed. They seen the money that was able to be picked up at late night. You got to think about it. He was doing it late
So
night.
that's what I'm saying. He had it popping, and they wanted to take the shit for themselves, pretty much. He had it popping. They pushed the shit back and gave Devin Letterman his slot.
I want to agree with you, but then you got to think about what is the sense of competition if there's no competition.
I'm saying, but they was not a competition. They was on the same show. The same NBC together. So it's not like y'all against each other. It's y'all literally the same channel. They just push your shit back and put a white dude in your spot.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you're a starting player and I ride the bench, don't I still got to do something so I can become a starter and you might end up on the bench?
You don't take out your star player for no bench player. Nigga, in fourth quarter, you don't do that.
Yet again.
Unless you don't like your star player and you want to get rid of him.
What did Tom Brady did to Bradshaw?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Bradshaw was in his prime when he got hurt. I think that's his name. Is that Bradshaw? Is that his name? I can't think. The starter of the Patriots quarterback was in his prime when he got hurt. When Tom Brady came out there and told him like you're never getting your starting position back. You're never gonna do that. And I don't care how good you are, you're not getting that back. Tom Brady took that and ran with it.
Yeah, he was a better player. This guy, David Letterman, wasn't better. He was just white. And so he took his spot. He wasn't better than Arsenio.
That's an opinion that you can make. I'm not gonna knock it, but yet again,
you see how Arsenio had it popping. He said he started look at the lineup he did. Look at who he brought on the show. He brought excitement to that time when nobody was watching TV in those hours, and they seen how popping he had it. So they was like, okay, well, you got it popping. Let's go ahead and just give it to David Letterman and make him a star, like kind of push the black man out. That's what it sounded like to me.
I mean,
because
that's how
if it wasn't the case, why you just didn't keep him where he was at?
Who was more profitable?
David Letterman. There's more white people in America than blacks. So David Letterman gonna probably be more profitable.
Okay, I'm glad you thought like that. That's a logical thought. So yet again, that's why he probably took that slot.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, they continuously to do it in America, bro. We talk about it all the time. So Arsenio Hall got pushed out, and then
what are they doing? Okay, so what are they doing it today?
Were they doing it today?
Yeah, you say we talk about it all the time. What are they doing today? I know one case I can bring up, but I want to hear your case
because I found case you can bring up. What's the one case you can bring up?
One case. There's a guy that started. He does comic books. He He started his own company. Mm-hmm. He raised $1 million and started able to publish his comic books. He put it out there, and he got a lot of his money off of pre-orders. And he worked through PayPal. PayPal shut his account out. He announced it. A couple of people announced it. I haven't actually went live about it. This is my first time going live about it right now. And once it happened, he made an announcement and he raised money. Now he raised $3 million. And what's going on is now PayPal is really blocking that money that he needs so he can fill those orders. And yeah, that's I can't lie to nobody. If anybody wants to hear me say if that a sign of racism, that's a sign.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what they did with the example you just give is the same example of Arsenio Hall and the same example. I mean, they've been doing the whole time we've been in America, bro.
That's two different examples of Arsenio Hall getting taken out of his slot because they actually put a white person in his slot because he was more profitable.
Okay.
Then you're actually taking somebody
Okay, I got you. Well, let's talk about the go back to the WNBA shit with the Caitlin Clark. She's more profitable, so they're trying to make her like the star of the WNBA. But there's actually girls that's better than her. Like they was talking about that girl on the Las Vegas Aces that they keep winning. There's a black chick on there that's really going crazy, and she don't get that much credit.
She don't
and
get
they
that.
keep winning. They went undefeated last year, right?
Okay.
Did they go undefeated last year?
No, hell nah.
Las Vegas Aces?
No, they did not go undefeated last year.
You sure?
Through the whole season. Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. What was their record?
I think they lost like 4 to 6 games.
I don't see it something. I don't know their record, but it was saying something like the Las Vegas Aces, and you know WNBA more than me. So who's that girl on that team? That black girl on that team that's got them winning them championships?
AJ Wilson. Yet again, I mean, she's a good player, but yet again, the thing, and I was just telling Hardaway about it too, bro. The thing about her and her game is she's fundamental. She's just fundamental. She's basic. It's like watching Tim Duncan out there.
Tim Duncan?
She's not breaking ankles.
Who not?
Oh, girl from the Aces. I watched her game today.
So okay. So you
she's a good player. I'm not knocking. She's a good player. She's dominant in the women's league. I'm not knocking it. What I'm saying is she's not exciting. Caitlin Clark brought her crowd from college. I was selling out seats in college. It wasn't the team that was set. See, LSU, South Carolina, Florida, all them good players, UConn, the team was selling out arenas. Okay. UConn, the team was selling out the arena. It wasn't like that in Iowa with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark herself was selling out arenas, and she brought that to the WNBA.
And that's an example of her being good, but
her being, bruh, don't go to good. Do not talk about stat sheets. Please do not talk about stat sheets.
When
this little white girl
probably as good as her. Probably better.
Never stop. That's why I have to stop people when it comes to stat season. We're talking basketball. All I do is rebound and score maybe 10, 11 points. When Caitlin Clark blocks, she got 13 assists. That means somebody else had to score off of me. 13, 10 assists.
Hold on, so you telling me she's the best basketball player
15,
right now?
20, huh?
Are you telling me she's the best basketball player right now in the WNBA?
She's the best protege of a rookie right now.
She's the best rookie right now?
She's the best rookie ever.
But she's
right
not
now.
the best player.
No.
Okay.
They got the WNBA girls got freak of natures in their lineups. I just don't think they're used properly.
Who you think better than her? Name a girl that's better than Caitlin Clark in the WNBA.
Better than Caitlin Clark?
Yeah.
Can I go to the stats so I say her name correctly?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Okay. What's her name? Because technically she on the Aces.
She on the Aces?
And I'm just going to her because she's a point guard. That's the only reason I'm going to her, and she's better. But I want to say her name correctly. Do they still got her coming off the bench? Hold on. Nope, not her. Even though she's better. No. Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray
is a point guard for the Aces, and I still think she's better. Why? Because even though she's hurt, since she's been in the league, since she came back, they're 9-1 since she touched the court. 9-1 since she touched the court on the Aces. Yeah, she better.
So she better.
Yeah, her
Why we keep talking?
well,
why we keep talking about Caitlin Clark for all the time? Why?
Why we talking about Caitlin Clark? Because Caitlin Clark is unbelievable and awesome and exciting and fun to watch.
I'm saying there's people that's better than her.
Because
more
she's fun to watch.
I'll say
She's more entertaining.
Let me ask you, are you talking about more entertaining, Michael, or are you saying that person is better? I don't know, because I don't know nothing about women's basketball. But if you're saying that,
that person I just named, Kelsey Gray,
mm-hmm.
skill level on the basketball court is better. Her decision making is better than Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, that's why it goes into my point about the Arsenio Hall shit.
But
we constantly talking about Caitlin Clark. She's pushing the other girls out. Everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark. They're pushing Arsenio Hall out when they're even better than her.
But them girls, okay, these girls been in the league 5 years. These girls been in the league 20. Better yet again. Okay, they've been better. But go look at their attendance since they've been better. Are they filling out arenas?
Is it because they black?
Are they shooting lights out?
Is it
Is
it because they black? They not selling as much.
So who?
It's white girls in the league too, Sabrina. What are you talking about?
My question is why ain't the better girls selling more than Caitlin Clark? They're better
because they're not exciting. They're not exciting. There's nothing exciting about them being better.
Hold on, right there.
What part of we cannot say nothing exciting about them? They're not breaking nobody's ankles. They're not shooting from the logo at a rapid success. They're not doing it. I mean, they're not making the game. They're not making the game fun for me to watch.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily that they better. They just more entertaining at times.
Dude.
What is it?
Okay, so I've been watching the WNBA for at least 10 years.
Okay.
At least a good 10 years. And I promise you, when I watch them play, I am more looking on the bench, looking hard at like, damn, who's a baddie? Who's a cutie? And be like, damn, why is she not in the game? Why is she not in the game? Why is she not in the game?
Right.
Like, come on, like he want me to be real. Like, yeah, they're a freak of natures, but do you really want to look at a freak of nature?
Right.
Or do you want to look at a baddie cross a girl? I'm like, oh, okay, she cute. You didn't have to do that other cute girl like that. I mean,
that's why I was trying to make a. That's why I was trying to make a point between like what he was asking you, what you were answering.
No, what I was answering for that other question is skill point. Like there's girls that got better skills than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying to understand because I got confused when he had asked, there are other girls that are better. And then he said, yeah, but then I was like, are you saying better or more entertaining at times? Like, that's why I was trying to make it better, like as an overall better, like a better player, or just better as in just more entertaining, like they have better skills. And that's
okay, check this out. I'm gonna break this down for you and me until he come back.
Okay.
When you know a girl is going to the hole and she got the lane and it's open and it's that one girl right there, and she go up. What go through the back of your mind? What are you expecting right now?
To catch the ball.
Huh? When she go up, what's back her like? Like she better do what?
She better do her damn job.
She
better do her damn job.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't watch enough basketball. I was not really a basketball type. I get what you're saying. What you're trying to ask me, it's just not. It's just I'm trying to. When you asking me, it's like a trick question. That's what I'm trying to. I said, just do her damn job.
Okay, when you hear about Jordan going one-on-one with somebody and he go up,
Yeah, he about to slam dunk on their ass.
Okay, yet again, let's go to the girl. When you see her doing almost the same exact thing, what do you expect?
She better slam dunk on her ass.
Okay, yet again, she's not doing that. So you have to bring something new to the game.
So if you're not gonna do that, you gotta bring something else. I see what you're saying.
You got to bring something new to the game.
Something interesting.
Something interesting. Yet again,
what makes Caitlin Clark so interesting, bro? What makes her so entertaining?
She's shooting your eyes out. She in college, she was shooting them girls' lights out.
In college,
she had
though.
full range to shoot them lights out.
In college, though, but in the WNBA,
yes. So hold on, let me finish. So in the WA, a lot of people want to see her shoot the lights out. We can't help it that our coach is not letting her, giving her the green light to shoot the lights out. Yes, we want to see that. We want to see that so bad. I want to see exactly what she was doing in high school. Do I expect it to be a little bit tougher? Yes. But now that she see that she can
actually slide out of here, Brody. I'm gonna listen to y'all shit. I'll come back on if y'all still on in a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Be safe.
And when you understand that she, you know what I'm saying, that she can shoot their lights out at any given moment. Like there's time that she done set people up and like, ooh, I know she can bust. She'll bust. Ooh, look, she didn't pull that trigger. Ooh, she can put like at any given second. And then what else makes it change the game? Like, wasn't nobody guard no girl from the damn free throw line, from the half court line, from by the time she inbounds the ball. Wasn't nobody doing that in the league. They're doing that. Like, she changing the game.
Okay.
What part of this white girl is changing the game? Now, Angel Reese with her is changing the game too, because she's riding that coattail and she's putting in work too. But is it more exciting than Caitlin Clark? No. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to nobody. I'm not fin to.
I mean, shit. What? I came into the conversation late. What was he trying to? Were y'all debating about it, or like between? What?
No, we was
y'all
actually
just talking.
I was just beginning my show talking about Arsenio Hall. I don't know how much you know about Arsenio Hall.
I've heard that name. You got to educate me.
See, yet again, Arsenio Hall was the first black man to do late night shows for us back in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. He was big, you know what I'm saying? He's another person that changed the game. And we was talking about his downfall. I was like, I wonder what his downfall is. And my guy was like, oh man, it was the Louis Farrakhan. And I was like, I don't think it was the Louis Farrakhan. And in this one interview, he was like, his resignation was before the Louis Farrakhan. He just got he got the most hatred feedback because he did the Farrakhan.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because yet again, you was. I would have to say at that time you was changing the game. You was doing something that was unnatural,
orthodox,
unheard of.
Yeah,
unheard of. Who was Farrakhan, and then you hear Farrakhan speak? Yeah, people gonna like, okay.
Even today.
But yet again,
the 80s was different because back then, you didn't really have, in my opinion, yeah, you're right. Because I'd have to ask my dad. I think my dad would know who that is. Most likely, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because he lived through that, most
guaranteed.
So I'm gonna bring it up to him. But the point is, I'm just saying back then, I get what you're saying, because back then, you say change the game. How many black people did you really have that were doing like podcasts like that? So basically what you're saying, so he was the guy that
he would have late night show and Oprah had daytime show.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Now I see what you're saying.
He late night had the young kids stand up and watching because back then when New Edition, Snoop Dogg, NWA,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, MC Light, Biggie, Tupac, all these guys, when they wanted their voice heard, where was they going? Book me on Arsenio Hall show.
Shit.
Anybody wanted a big break probably got their first chance if they was black on the Arsenio Hall show. Just keeping it real. That's what this interview was showing us right here that I was playing, and then we went into that. But yet again, I was going into some other stuff about more likely of people who still want this president to still be president. And I was like, after what he have shown y'all,
I mean,
y'all
especially after the
still,
debate, right? Y'all still gonna vote at this
after
point.
the
You voting
debate,
for him. You
after
going?
the
Did you
big
see
boy
it?
interview,
Did you see it? I saw
after
it.
his sit down interview, after his stand up, I mean, like,
If you vote for him at this point, you delusional. Even if you're a Democrat, like you're delusional because first of all, the man, I can't get over the fact that the man raised inflation. And then on top of that, you want a president that's going to try to open the borders with Mexico. Now, I ain't got no problems with Mexicans. Don't get it twisted at all.
it
I'm
ain't
just
just
saying.
Mexicans coming over here.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying. In particular, that's just what I like to focus on because I got a lot of Mexican friends. Don't get me wrong, but even some of them will tell me, just come over here. I get it. It's a whole different world over there. It's more dangerous over there, trying to come over here legally. But when you have a president, you know what? Let me say this, Michael. I'll just put it to you like this. I was talking to my dad about this earlier. He ain't big on Trump, but I am. You got to stand up for what's right at some point in time. And when you got a
Why
president
is
that's
your
ready,
dad? See, I'm curious, and see, this is the part where I remember
You
your
wanna ask
daddy used to sit in the background and stuff like that when we used to go live and stuff or be talking in the group chats.
right.
And I would really have to, I really want to sit here and have a logical understanding. Like, what is it that he done that is so worse than a president who
And it's
has a, who can't talk, who can't walk,
communicate.
who has a press conference the other day, 2 days ago, press conference, 10 reporters. He answered 19 questions. And in the beginning, he named his vice president and called her Trump. What makes it logical in your mind to say, okay, yeah, I'm still gonna vote for this guy. He can do it. Huh? He can do it.
He can do what? Oh, he can do it all right. He can raise that inflation. He can open them borders to all people. You don't know what type of criminals will come over here more easily, but they already coming over here easily. But I'm just saying,
Dr. Umar
Dr. Umar
said it. And I don't even like Dr. Umar, but he said it on the Breakfast Club. And I should bring that up, that interview up just to show it. That he said he like, man, Trump was right on the Dr. Umar. Hold on, I think.
Pull it up if you can. If you can. I know you ain't big on the Umar, but
I'm just not big on him on the
repeating
race
himself.
hustler.
Oh no, I
Like,
get what
stop
you're saying.
being the race hustler part of it. If you gonna speak, but damn. Quit trying to say black folks need to black. Oh my God, just shut the hell up. That shit is played out.
I mean, the victimhood is
Because
still
we
there.
at the time, because we in the eras where niggas asking for your credentials.
Now you in the no. Let me. Well, that too. They asking for statistics, but no, we in the era where niggas are becoming Republicans. Though I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Let me just say that, Michael. I'm just gonna be real with you. We're in an era right now where you have I remember when I told you about when people were talking about, oh well, the word rhino, you know, you're a Republican in name only. Well, it's that you got a lot of black people now that you ask them. I've seen it on interviews on YouTube. You know, you ask them, some rappers even, you know, who you voting for. It was one interview, I forgot what this guy's name was. I think his name was Black Conservative Channel or something like that. But I forgot what this guy's name was, Greg or something. But he was on one of his YouTube channels. This dude was talking about these two rappers that were talking about who they're voting for. And one of them was like, I'm voting for Trump. Oh, yeah, there we go. With that Dr. Umar. Yeah, hit that.
Hey, who that Umi? Is that Umi? Is that Umi?
The Pan-African brother.
But finish your statement. You can go ahead.
But no, yeah, for real. He said, but the other one said, what the fuck is my vote going for? And you know, I'm gonna be real. When I was an independent, I thought that, you know, my vote didn't really matter. But you know, when I read Booker T. Washington's Up from Slavery, he said you got to cast your ballot if you want power, because then you can't along the lines, you can't complain at that point if you don't. Wait a minute, where's that damn book at? But the point is, you know, I'm so fucking high, bro. But I'll keep it real with you. You know, I see things differently. When I was independent, I thought
that bottle back fast. You should slow down. You gonna keep up on
here. I know we got certain people watching, but I just got off work. But
and they don't go through a filter. They come direct. Even the snow bunnies. Listen, I know how you feel about that. I need help with my son. He's a white boy, blonde hair, blue eyes. Will you help us? Pay the fee. I got you.
And if you hated them, you wouldn't offer the help.
Why would I help them at all? You see what I'm saying? And some of them buy my book too. They say, hey, I know your book is towards black families, but the information in there, we can use it too. So
do white parents ever call you and say, hey, my white son or my white daughter is into this black boy or black girl, and we want to erase them from there? Do they ever?
Y'all going to argue over everything because nobody says, I am not going to emote over this. I'm not going to deal with this with feelings. I'm going to use reason and intelligence. That's what the man is supposed to do. Yeah. But guess what we do? Raised by single mothers, meaning like it. At the same time, they're still the two oldest men to ever run and rerun for president of the United States. But you know what? Doesn't that also speak to the weaknesses in both parties?
That's right.
If Joe Biden is the best the Democratic National Committee has, if Donald Trump is the best the Republican National Committee has, what is that saying about the talent y'all incubating?
That's right. So what do you think about, you know, blacks loving Donald Trump so much, shaking his hand, kissing his hand, rubbing his back, saying we support him? What do you think about that?
Slave master syndrome, white Jesus syndrome.
What is the difference with Joe? What is the difference with Joe? Sniff little 8-year-old girl's hair, Biden. Listen, I had a simple little debate. Simple little. It was very small. And I was just posting on somebody else's comment. They was like something about Joe, and I was like, man, I stated what I said. I said, man, he just called his vice president Trump. And she hit me up and said, Trump lied about having sex with a porn star. I said, shit, hell, Bill Clinton lied about having sex with 3 people. I don't know why I can't hear you. Hell no. I was like, he lied about 3 people. I don't get it. I really don't understand this. What is the difference?
We don't care if the white Jesus wears red or blue. We don't care what side of the aisle that they're on. You know, Black America suffers from battered spouse syndrome envy. And what battered spouse syndrome speaks to is the fact that no matter how bad you beat me up, if I believe I need you in order to survive, I'm never going anywhere. And part of our problem, part of the equation to our problem as American Africans, why we don't do anything on our own, is we are often waiting for the great white savior to come. This is a message that has been rehearsed for us in church. We get it in the media. We get it in the Black community. So Black people will never, ever abandon their hope of a white savior coming to save them. Donald Trump has no record whatsoever of saving Black folks. When people ask me, who you going to vote for? At this point, neither one of them are going to get my vote. I considered Cornel West because I love Dr. West, intelligent.
And see, that's the part where I'm like, cool. You not voting only helps Trump. Only helps Trump.
Strong, good natured, but he's a bunny hopper, so he can't get my vote. Now, when I come back to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I look at the fact that Donald Trump signed 13 federal death executions while he was president. More than half of them was signed after Joe Biden won the election. Think about that now. Biden gets elected in November, sworn in January. Between that time, Donald Trump executes half of those 13 people. 5 of them were Black men, and 2 of those Black men were presumed innocent, and their attorneys had introduced a stay of execution to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court turned them down, and Donald Trump executed those brothers. So when I hear Black men say, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's going to bring more money and economic vitality into the Black community, I say, what about the fact that he's out here killing Black folks, you understand, without no remorse at all? Signing those type of federal death warrants. 2 brothers was murdered within 24 hours of each other. One of them was 40 years old.
Okay. Telling us a story, getting us all hyped, getting us all mad, getting us all amped. But did he drop a name? Still can't hear you. Yeah, you're going to have to go out and come back in. I don't know what's going on. That's what I'm saying. Drop a name. Don't say he killed some brothers and now I got to go try to super search these brothers and find out who you're talking about.
And he was the first person to be murdered in 70 years for a crime he committed as a teenager. And in one of those cases, about 6 of the jurors said they would have changed their decision on the death sentence had they knew the information that the prosecution had withheld from them. That's why the attorney wanted the stay of execution to give the defense time to reformulate the argument. In Supreme Court, Snow Bunny, Clarence Thomas and that crew said no, and Donald Trump signed his life away. So you got to look at that. You also got to look at the fact that Donald Trump wants to give police 100% immunity.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Look how they're killing us now.
Right.
So now you're telling me that anything the police do in their line of duty, they cannot be held accountable for making bad mistakes and bad decisions. And you want to put that back in office? That's thirsty Black men worry more about money than the lives of their people.
That's right. The Supreme Court is corrupt.
Yes.
Illegitimate.
Absolutely.
How come enough people not talking about that?
Because I don't think they understand the tripartite nature of American so-called democracy. The Supreme Court, the president, and the Congress, they actually have equal weight, right? Well, they did. But now what the Supreme Court just did was they gave the president a few days ago absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for decisions made in office and carrying out his constitutionally protected duties. That's very dangerous because what that says is the president can never go to jail even if he commits genocide if it was done in an act of office. So let's say hypothetically Donald Trump or Joe Biden sends the National Guard into New York to quell a Black protest, and the National Guard, God forbid, ends up executing 5,000 of our brothers and sisters who were protesting peacefully. Even though it was ordered by the president of the United States, he cannot be held accountable for that. Why? Because he did it in discharging his duties as commander-in-chief. So we don't no longer have a president. We have an emperor. We have a czar. We have a king because what the Supreme Court just did.
But yet again, it's not what the Supreme Court just did.
Right.
That's false. That's been an immunity. But they go to almost every. That's when they go to war. That same immunity is right there when they go to war.
Hey, hold on, Mike.
Like,
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. You may have. Never mind. You ain't got to rewind the video. But what he said about the black man getting executed and all that. And I'll say this. And he said, when I hear black men voting or talking about voting for Trump and go Trump and yes, Trump, what he doesn't understand, I always point out to black people. When we compare Joe Biden to Donald Trump, and people could say I'm drunk, but it's not because of that. I'm just speaking the truth. Donald Trump raised, when you had black unemployment actually went down. Black people were finding jobs more like a motherfucker. And that's what one of the guys in the interview was talking about. So, and then people will say, well, why are you just talking about black unemployment? What else did he do? I mean, well, if you think about it, you look at the Republican Party in general, especially with Donald Trump. I mean, that was a big thing. He didn't raise inflation. He didn't want open borders. When Dr. Umar, I can't really fuck with him anymore. Especially, I can't side with him anymore, especially on the whole Trump thing. Because at one point in time, I was on the Trump, the whole Trump hate thing, but there was no reason to. You look at the benefits of what Trump did for black people, I mean, it outweighs, people will say, well, he was, and it's always the same arguments, Michael. He was racist. And my thing is this. Black people in America. I would rather, when people ask me, would you rather have a clown or Joe Biden? I'd rather have, Trump. Honestly, I wouldn't call him a clown. We have to look at it. Dr. Umar Johnson's coming from a complete bias. First of all, he's coming from the Pan-African movement, the Go Back to Africa movement, the RBG movement, started by Marcus Garvey, right? My whole point for saying what I'm saying is that Dr. Umar Johnson is wrong when he said, when I hear black men talking about they're voting for Donald Trump or go Donald Trump, those black men, you have to look at the detail. We don't even know the details of what those black men did, or even what they were accused. He didn't even state what they were accused of. So I wouldn't say that anything that Trump has done was racially biased or racially motivated. That's all I can say. But when we look at what is that, Joe Biden?
But this
donors.
may only be the beginning. Reports claim a coordinated Democratic rebellion is set to unfold during a brutal 48-hour stretch for Biden. An 18th Democrat lawmaker just called for Biden's exit 90 minutes ago. Now we're learning that President Biden privately met with White House Minority Leader Jeffries after his solo press conference last night, where he made several embarrassing mistakes on the world stage. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Compagno, and joining me today, Fox Business anchor and host of American Dream Home on Fox Business, Cheryl Casoni, Fox News contributor and host of Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, Tommy Lahren, former RNC Deputy Communications Director and Vice President of COIN, Cassie Smedley, and Fox and Friends First co-host Todd Pyro. Now, first, let's go to White House